Hello, my name is Yasnaya Cranford. Here's my answers to the discussion board questions. As far as grading, I think I will work my grades in this way. I will have my students work in groups and individually in different um, pa- papers or assignments, and with the purpose of these assignments will be for me to know where they are when they are starting and how they are understanding the concept that I'm trying to teach, and if they're understanding the process on how to get to the final product. So my grades will be, if they are in the younger levels, it will be outstanding or in progress or probably not mastered, but that will be more something that will show up in the report card. As far as the students, for the other levels like second grade and up, they probably will have letter grades. But even if a student have a low grade, that doesn't necessarily means to me that they are failing at they fail at that particular test, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to stay like that. I probably will give them an opportunity to work on their test and try to improve it a little bit, or we probably will have some quizzes in order to help my students so they can actually learn the material and keep progressing. Also, it's important that they know where they are standing as far as their grades. So all their grades I will put online. I know there are programs online where you can input the grades, and then the parents and students can also have access to this. And that's how I will do it. So their parents are aware of what their students, their child grades are, and probably the older kids, probably more like fourth and fifth grade, they will have probably access to a computer, and they can know where they are standing. Or if they come to me, I will tell them what the grades are. Obviously, the ones that are struggling, I will try to help, because the purpose is not to have anybody fail, but actually to help them improve and keep moving forward and having all the information mastered in their head. So as far as effort and knowledge, how I would be graded in my grading, if it's a student that participates a lot, and when the student is participating, I can see that a lot of the concepts they haven't mastered, or they are learning what we're supposed to be doing, I will take that into consideration in the smaller assessment assignments that I have. And the purpose of this smaller assignment is for that same reason, because sometimes certain students cannot do well during the test, but they actually have the concept. Um, they understand the concept, they just are not good test takers. So that's something that we probably can work on. But in the process, all these little quizzes and little work that I have is in a way to help the student. So all the grades are not just based on one test, but it would be better for them and for myself to actually assess them and understand how much they actually know if I have several graded work, because it's a bigger volume, and I can actually have different angles of a lesson in order to understand how much they actually know. And how does good or bad behavior affect grading? Well, bad behavior usually um, affects the student ability to understand what is happening, especially if the student is not paying attention and interrupting all the time. Now, there are certain conditions that can cause a student to do this, but let's just say that in general, bad bad behavior will not really be reflected on a quiz or on a test, but it will be reflected on cooperation, participation in other areas of the grades that I would have in the classroom. It's not part, like I said, of the testing, but it's part of of um, just that, like the the additional parts of being a teacher. When you have to grade that those other areas that I mentioned already. I hope that this explained how I will grade my students. And if you have any questions or I was unclear, I will be more than willing to expand. Thank you.